Okay, so we'll start today with exception. So, like basically, this has two parts. One, you should understand what the basically exception is, like what are the types, what are the possibilities to get the exception eh, whenever we do the programming Java. And the second part basically deals with how to handle those exceptions. So, we'll start like basically what the exception is. Exception is like an event that occurs during an execution of a program. Now, so whenever during the execution of a program an exception occurs like an event that disrupts the original flow of your program, means it abruptly terminates. Now you can say also this in this way also, like an exception is an abnormal condition that occurs in a code sequence at a runtime. Now whenever I say a runtime, this means whenever your program is within the execution environment, it is executing, this exception may occur. A Java exception is an object that describes an exceptional condition that has occurred in a piece of a code. So one thing you should note it down, that exception is an object. Now whenever this occurs, this object is responsible to describe what is the condition behind this exception. In other words, you can also say an exception is a runtime error. Now, as already we have seen, exception is a runtime error. This means at the time during the compilation, it will not cause any problem to us. It will generally cause the problem whenever the program is within the execution time. So we'll consider a very simple program here. It is a normal arithmetic division program. So what we have here is a scanner class that is taking two integer inputs in x and y. Once we have taken the input, it will go with the normal division procedure and you'll supposed to get the output on your command line. Now in this case, you can see the programs look very simple and easy, but the actual problem is here. Whenever an user who is not aware that a divide by zero is a mathematical issue or a problem, in this case, if some as a denominator y, if the user passes a zero, the program will halt in between within the execution time. In this case, it happens like it will give an exception like arithmetic exception divide by zero. Now here you can consider the user is not aware, or you can also consider the program. As you can say, the program is correct, but the program does not handle the exception here. There is a chance we can get an exception. There is a possibility that we can get an exception, because if the user is not aware a divide by zero thing, that's the thing. An exception is a runtime error that can be handled programmatically in the application. As we have discussed, it is a runtime error. Now, and it does not result in abnormal program termination, means if you will handle it programmatically, whenever the exception occurs, in the previous code we have seen we have not done anything to handle that exception. In in that case, the program will come to an halt. But if you handle it programmatically, you can actually ignore the abnormal program termination, and this is something called as a exception handling. Means if you handle those exception through programs, like in a programmatic way, in this case your program will not terminate. Exception handling is a mechanism that facilitates the programmatic handling of runtime errors. Now again the same thing, it says you can handle any runtime errors can be handled programmatically. In Java, each runtime error or an exception is represented by an object. An object is basically used to describe the condition behind that exception. We'll see further. Now, if you consider the exception class hierarchy, at the root of the class we have something called as a throwable class, which represent the basic features of the runtime error. You can consider after the throwable we have two basic non-abstract subclasses. One is an exception and one is an error. The basic difference is exception that can be handled programmatically, and error is something that cannot be handled. A runtime exception is a subclass of the exception. Further, each exception in a runtime error I repeat again, each exception is a runtime error, but all runtime errors are not exception. We'll see it further. We have something as a throwable as a class. Then we have two non, you can see here we have two non-abstract subclasses of the throwable, exception and error. The same thing I am describing. The throwable exception, we have throwable, then we have exception and error. Exception is further has a two part. One is called as a checked and one is called as unchecked exceptions. This is a checked exception, that is a virtual machine IO and SQL exception. And then we have a runtime exception and the error. They are a unchecked exception. Now the major difference are, a checked exception means a compiler will always have a check on those exceptions. Means it will force you to either caught or handle those exceptions. At the same time, if it is an unchecked exception, it's the programmer wish that he want to handle it programmatically or not. And the error is something that is cannot be handled. You can see in this way also, throwable has again exception and the error. We have IO exception, SQL exception, class not found exception. Then within the runtime exceptions, we have further arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, number format exception, index out of bound exception, array index out of bound, string index out of bound. Errors can be further divided into stack overflow error, virtual machine error, and out of memory error. Now we will try to see like whenever these particular exceptions have a possibility to occur. First, this IO exception will occur whenever you are handling a programs, like within that the file handling. For example, suppose you are trying to access a file that does not exist, you will get an IO exception in this case. Next is an SQL exception. Suppose you are trying to execute an SQL query. In that case, suppose that table is not present in your database, you can may have a possibility to get an SQL exception. Then we have a class not found exception. Suppose you are importing a class, and interestingly, suppose that class is not present, you may get an class not found exception. Come to the runtime exception, we have arithmetic exception. One of the possible example is a divide by 0. Next is a null pointer exception. Suppose you are trying to access something as a null. In this case, you may get as a null pointer exception. If you are trying to access a null, you can get a null pointer exception. Come to the number format exception. Suppose you are taking a command line argument and you are trying to convert into the integer. Now suppose the user has passed a string, and a string cannot be converted to the number. In this case, you can get a number format exception if you try with the integer.parseInt. Next is the index out of bound exception. Next is the array index out of bound exception. It generally occurs suppose you are trying to access an array index that is not available. You will get an array index out of bound exception. Similarly with the string, you are trying to access a string index that is not present. A string index out of bound exception is possible. Now we will start with the checked and unchecked. We have already seen like exceptions has a two part, a checked exception and unchecked exception. A checked exception are those that have to be either caught or declared to be thrown in a method which they has raised. Means suppose for a particular portion or the part of the code or the method where you have a chance that it may arise a checked exception, you must have to either caught or declare. Means suppose you are doing any program with the file handling or like SQL queries. In these cases, the compiler will force you to either handle, that is either caught those exceptions or declare those exceptions. What is a caught and declare? We'll see on the later stages. Now come to the unchecked exception. Unchecked exceptions are those that are not forced by the compiler either to be caught or to be thrown. Now whenever I say it is unchecked exception means the compiler will not force you. For example, whenever writing a program that is an arithmetic program, that is a division, the compiler never asks you to write or like caught or declare exception. Still the program works. That is an example of the unchecked exception. Suppose you are writing a for loop that accesses the array variables indexes through the indexes. In this case, if you try to access something that is not present, in this case the program works, still you are writing those programs without the exception handling, and that is the portion of the unchecked exception where it is, when suppose it is an unchecked exception, the compiler will never ask you to declare or caught those exceptions. Still the program works. But whenever you are supposed doing with something file handling or the SQL queries, these are the portion of the checked exception the compiler will force you. Means your program will not execute if you're not caught or declare those exceptions. Unchecked exceptions either represent the common programming errors or those runtime errors that cannot be handled through the exception handling. Now, these are some of the commonly used subclasses of the exception. One thing you should be very clear, every exception here is a class, or you can say they are the subclasses, but here they belongs to a class, and whenever this such exception occurs, an object is being thrown, and that object basically discuss or give the information about the type of the exception that occurred. Arithmetic exception again occurred whenever you're doing some program like a divide by zero. Array index out of bound exceptions will occur whenever you are trying to access the array index that is not present. Number format exception, suppose you are trying to parse a string to the integer. In this case, null pointer exception whenever you're trying to access something as a null, and then IO exceptions generally occur in the file handling. Because some of the commonly subclasses of the errors are virtual machine error, or suppose at some time just because of some additional files or viruses, if some of the important files of the virtual machine has been changed or erased or it is not present, you may have a virtual machine error. Stack overflow errors means just because of the limited memory size, it could be a problem. Then we have the no class definition found error and no such method error. These are generally whenever the classes and the methods are not present and trying to access. Come to the uncaught exception. Like uncaught exception means, see, this is a program here, it can compile without any problem, but at a runtime, and since d is a 0, that is the denominator is a 0, you will get an exception here. When the Java runtime system detects the attempt to divide by 0, it constructs a new exception object and then throws this exception directly. Once an exception has been thrown, it must be caught by the exception handler and dealt with immediately. Now the idea is, whenever this thing occurs, like whenever a divide by 0 occurs, the Java runtime system detects that and it constructs a new exception object and then throw it. Now whenever it has been thrown, I'm repeating again once, it should be clear, this is the normal program of a division. By default, whenever it at the time of execution, whenever the system detects, okay, it is a divide by 0, it will just construct an exception object. It is an arithmetic exception obviously, and it will throw that exception as an object. Now once the exception has been thrown, it must be caught by an exception handler and dealt with immediately. Means you need an handler sort of thing. In the previous example, we have not supplied any exception handler of our own. So in this case, the exception is caught by the default handler provided by the Java runtime system. The idea is, as the object of the exception has been thrown, either you have two options. Either you should provide an handler programmatically, or the JVM, the Java runtime system, will provide a default handler. This moment we will consider the default handler only. Any exception that is not caught by your program will ultimately be processed by the default handler. The default handler displays a string describing the exception, prints a stack trace from the point at which the exception occurred, and terminates the program. Three things it will do. It will print an exception that will basically describe what is the type of the exception, like what is the reason behind the exception. It will print the stack trace from where the exception has occurred, and it will terminate your program. Now that is one of the major drawback with a default handler. Means if a handler is provided by the Java runtime system, one of the major drawback is it will terminate your program. So what is the need of the exception handling? So exception is clear, like whenever an exception occurs. So we'll get back and see like what is the need of the exception handling. Basically, when the default exception handler is provided by the Java runtime system, what is the need of the exception handling? There are two basic. You can prevent the automatically termination of your program. Means the program will not terminate if you do the exception handling your own. The next thing is, see, whatever the previous, in the previous slide you can see whatever the last line, that is the display information displayed by the handler. Again, being a programmer and being a computer science student, you can understand it's not an issue. But at the same time, if you are non-generic, if you're like you are not aware of the computer science much, you are just a normal user, it could be a major problem what is actually going on. So if you want your own customized messages, it could be a better idea. So there are two basic needs. It's allowed to fix the error and customize the message so that the user will be aware. Okay, fine, that is the problem basically. You can say, consider in this way also. Suppose you are writing a normal program of the divide by zero. If a non-computer science, student or people, if you see this particular line, last line, he will have no idea what is the problem with his or her code, and what is, whenever suppose he is just trying to execute only, at the same time if you get such sort of exception, he is not aware what is the problem behind. But if you can customize the message, okay fine, like it is a, you are trying to divide by zero and it is not allowed, it could be easy to understand. At the same time, if you have your own handlers, it will prevent the program for automatically termination. The program will never terminate automatically. If it is the default handler, it will terminate. So these are the two reasons why we use the exception handling. In the next video, we will see how to handle the exception. Thank you.